guys, Mustang here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So the celebration is going to start, the banners are going to drop in probably somewhere around 8 hours from when this video goes up. I think the maintenance is actually still on for like half an hour after that, but it means as soon as we get in after the maintenance it will be ready. And we talked about this on the latest episode of the podcast. People have been talking about it a lot in the build up to the celebration, but I obviously tweeted out earlier that Global needs to make huge changes if they actually want people to be hyped to summon on the banners, because we've all talked about the fact that Gotenks and BUU have been out for so long on JP. Loads of new units have come out since then, and some of those have even come out on Global first. So what is there to get hyped about? So before we look at some of these comments, we're going to look at the actual banners. So this is the Gotenks banner. We got the Transforming Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Piccolo, Trunks, Gogeta, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who obviously we know will be getting an EZA at some point in the near future, and then the old Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So even though technically, currently the tech one is the better one in a lot of situations because of his EZA, he's obviously going to be replaced by the physical one. I guess it depends how good his EZA is, because hopefully they don't pull a Super Saiyan 3 Broly. So these two are sort of dead units for a few people. Gogeta's been back quite a few times now. I think Trunks has only been back once and is a good pull for a newer player because he has that secondary Super Types leader skill. So he is a good unit to have on the banner. Piccolo's been back a couple of times now, and even the Transforming Goku has been back before. So obviously, when new Dokkan Fest banner drops, you only get one new unit unless there is a side non-Dokkan Fest SSR. But it means really the only unit of the true value and hype for this banner is the Gotenks. Now, Gotenks is incredibly good in almost all types of events. He's going to be good because obviously in the longer form events you're going to get to see the actual Super Saiyan 3 transformation. In the shorter events, not as much, but even in his Super Saiyan form, he is very good. So, obviously, if you're going to summon on the banner, any one of these other units are obviously potentially useful for different players, but Gotenks is like the true valuable unit on the banner. And then you could probably say the same for the BUU banner. Obviously, they're meant to parallel each other, so Zamasu is in the same spot as Trunks, hasn't been back a bunch, and is good for newer players because of his secondary leader skill. The Vegeta, obviously really good. Technically transforms into an extreme unit, but yeah, he's a super unit on the banner. So I think that comes up in one of the comments. But Broly, again, I mean, he's one of the most used units in the World Tournament now, so I'm sure some people do still need copies of him. Metal Cooler is technically still the only full leader for Wicked Bloodline, but I mean, you can run most of that team with Cooler, which is what a lot of people do. And then STR Super BUU. I know loads of people want to see him get taken off the banner because even though the boosts to the link system and the release of like the LR Gotenks team made this guy pretty decent again, he's still not top tier and a lot of people still don't like him. But sorry to say, if they are going to change the banner at all, this guy's probably going to stay because it's the BUU banner on the extreme like Dokkan Fest. So I'm pretty sure this guy is staying on simply because of the theme. And I mean, he's not, like I say, he's not terrible anymore, but yeah, he's not a unit that you're going to want to see if you go to do your summon and you get like a guaranteed featured animation, which, you know, is definitely going to happen to some people. So the banner's not amazing. Obviously, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, we now know what his EZA is going to be, and it's very underwhelming. So I can't imagine many people who still need copies of him are going to be overly excited about actually getting them, because even post EZA, if you have him like Rainbow, you're not really going to be using him because he's just not very good. So what can they do? Last year on Global, all that changed when the banners came out was they added one more unit. So they added Metal Cooler to Zamasu's banner, and they added Kid Goku to Trunks' banner. Now, I remember at the time thinking that was kind of cool, because I'm not sure if those units had come back very much. But I wasn't thinking about the main issue, which we see on some of the newer banners, and especially on Legendary banners. The more featured units there are, then the harder it is to pull the actual specific one that you want. Because if you're just going into this banner to get BUU or to get Gotenks, if there's 8 featured units, you now only have a 1 in 8 chance instead of a 1 in 7. So them just adding another unit is not necessarily making the banner better. You can argue that it makes the banner worse. So we're going to have a look down the replies to the tweet. I'm going to go through a few of them, potentially not all of them. I don't want the video to be super, super long, but shout out to anyone who did reply. So we're just going to scroll down. So we got Miri saying the only way they can save the banners is to put LR Vegito on Buhan on them. Won't happen, obviously, but fits the theme. And they won't return again until 6th year anyway. So this is something we talked about after the worldwide celebration was over. So last year with the download celebration, we got Gohan and Cell, and then they didn't return until the anniversary, which obviously for JP, because we celebrated the download celebration at the same time, the anniversary for them was only in February, so they only had to wait a few months for them to come back on a banner. Whereas we don't get our anniversary until July. So those units weren't on a banner again until July. So after this one ended, it's pretty safe to assume that we might not see Vegito and Gotenks again until the 6th year anniversary. So it would be really good if Global wanted to put them on another banner before the anniversary, just so we don't have to wait as long. And I do agree that that would make this banner instantly jump up in the hype levels, because I only got one copy of those LRs during the anniversary. So if they were on these banners, it would definitely make me more excited to summon on them. Because obviously, remember, with Global, we don't just get the 3+1, we get the tickets. And nothing beats the feeling of pulling an LR off of a free ticket that you got from summoning. So that would obviously make the banner amazing. But it's, you know, that's so incredibly generous of them. I'm sure I would argue that the likeliness of it happening is incredibly low. But, I mean, if they really wanted to make the banners hype and make people summon, that would absolutely work. So, someone says, yeah, let's see, Kim says there's literally nothing they can do to make the banner better besides the normal discounts and tickets, which obviously we will be getting. Well, actually, it says discounts because, yeah, normally on Global, the first 3 steps towards your first free multi are also discounted. So it's normally like 100 stones rather than 150, and that gets you 4 multis. And then of course we have the tickets as well. This is why they need to rethink their release strategy for the future. Yeah, so this is the main thing that we've talked about on the podcast. Goresh has talked about it quite a lot. Is you can't bring out units in, what was it, March on JP, and then basically have it set in stone that, like, yeah, global players, you're not getting these until November, and then between March and November you release a ton of crazy powerful stuff that everybody's going to be looking forward to. I mean, they must know at this point that people who play Global watch JP to know what to save for. So that is the biggest problem with this celebration, that they kept these banners so long before dropping them on Global. So LR Gotenks on the yeah, see, a lot of people would want to see that. Memes guy slapping a plaster over a leaking water tank, LR Super Saiyan 4s. So yeah, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, I mean, I'm one of those people that can still use extra copies of them, but I know a lot of people don't want to see them. And of course, remember, a lot of these comments are just talking about units that they could add. Even if they add Gotenks and Vegito, they could potentially just do what they did last year and just be adding them to the banner as an 8th featured unit. So even though they are a featured unit you want, I'm assuming most people want, not a lot of people outside of some of our friends in the community rainbow these units on their first banner. So most people would want to get them, but it's another featured unit. So if you've already pulled 2 or 3 copies of them, but you really want that Gotenks, it's another unit potentially stopping you from pulling him. So I think they've replaced Piccolo for future Gohan and replaced Super BUU for Cooler. So this comes up in the comments a lot. This is probably a good time to show the banner, but a big problem that Global has with the banner they just released, we just had the Halloween Dokkan Fest banner, which is actually good. I think it was definitely worth doing a few multis on if you had the stones to spare, especially the first one because it was the 40 stone discount one. The problem with this banner though is it's full of units that either haven't come back or haven't come back in a while. Not Bardock and Cooler because they were around on a recent celebration, but future Gohan, obviously, big hype for him to finally come back. Blue Kaioken hasn't been around a ton. 13's been around a few times, but with 17 getting his Easy A, having him available is actually quite good because he's such a great link partner for him. And then Namek Goku, he's been around a bit more now, but is still a very hype pull for a lot of people. And then, of course, Transforming Vegeta is kind of just there to be the meme featured unit that nobody wants. So the problem with this banner is you could have put Future Gohan or Blue Kaioken onto this banner in place of somebody, and that would probably be considered by a lot of players to be a decent upgrade. But they've literally just been on a banner that is still live now. So it seems like an odd choice for them to do. And then obviously the only extreme units are 13 and cooler. Both have been back fairly recently, so I don't know if it would make the extreme banner any more hype by switching them in. So yeah, changing Piccolo and STR BUU. Unfortunately, like I said at the beginning, I don't think STR BUU is going to get changed. So yeah, AC says I don't know what they're going to do without putting a pair of Dokkan Fest LRs on here. 4th year LRs are probably the best guess. So yeah, the Super Saiyan 4s again. 13, yeah. Shout out to everybody who can't awaken their Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku because the Android 13 story event has never come back. That's why you pre-farm the medals. So may as well put the download celebration LRs. Yeah, see, a lot of people would love to see that. Physical Broly and AGL Gogeta are already becoming units that people aren't wanting to pull so much. So a lot of people are saying Vegeta and Gotenks. There's some comments about the 5-year LRs as well, which would be interesting. Obviously, people talking about the actual banner itself, the changing the discounts to the guaranteed featured step up. So kind of like the thing that we had on the Kefla banner, where it was discounted steps and then the final step was guaranteed featured. I can't see them doing that just because you get the free multi afterwards and then you get tickets from the summons as well. So I can't see them going as far as to make the 3rd step guaranteed featured, even if it was only that first time. So yeah, we got talking about Pal Piccolo and Metal Cooler were both just here on Gohan's banner. I don't think they would replace the units because of their upcoming EZAs, because Gotenks and Broly haven't been on a ton of banners recently. Need to bring two new, at least they're talking about the actual event rather than the banner. Yeah, that's again about the actual celebration. Swap out Angel Goku for future. See, I don't think swapping out the Angel Goku and the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is probably a good idea, because those are two of the bigger, newer units that are on that banner. So I feel like they're going to stay on there. But yeah, people talking about throwing in the extra featured unit. Guaranteed teacher every 5 summons. Yeah, see, this is the problem that Gale pointed out. Like the Halloween banner, they put a ton of units that they could have used to fill in gaps, and they just put them all on a banner right before this celebration. So it makes it seem unlikely that they'll use them as the substitute units. Literally, the 5-year LRs are the best option, and we know that's not going to happen. I would put them in a similar level of hype to the Worldwide Celebration LRs in terms of if they were to come back on this banner, that would make them make the banners much more attractive to people. Obviously, I would prefer it to be the Worldwide Celebration ones, but they're into putting the blue fusions to make anyone summon. Yeah, Vegeta and Gotenks. Cooler into Boo's banner and Bardock or Kefla. See, Kefla would be a good switch onto Gotenks' banner, because Kefla hasn't come back at all yet. I'm not sure when she first came back on JP, if she has yet. So that would be good. That would definitely increase the hype for the banner a little bit. But again, we'd want that to be a replacement and not just shoving on another featured unit. New LR, I can't imagine that would happen. That would be like the ultimate global dub, especially if they were good, but that's not going to happen. What about Piccolo? Yeah, people want Piccolo to get changed. Yeah, they should change it to make it worse so it's easier to skip. I mean, there's a lot of people legitimately talking about skipping it, which for a dual Dokkan Fest, it's not very likely, or not very often, that you hear people skipping out on 3+1s and free tickets. But yeah, people are just really not hyped about the banners. Yeah, adding one featured unit. Yeah, bring back the blue fusions. So obviously people are hoping for the things that would make the banners actually good. So I mean, the inclusions of the 5-year fusions or the Worldwide Celebration LRs would obviously be really good. Nobody wants STR Super BUU, but he's not going to be going there. Yeah, blue fusions, BUU and Super Geo, Kefla and Tech Gohan. Now, obviously, he was the most recent Dokkan Fest, but if they put Gohan onto Gotenks' banner, that would absolutely make people summon for it. The problem is, I guess they don't have to change the Extreme one as well, but there's not like a bunch of really hype recent Extreme units, so that banner does become very difficult to switch out units for. So yeah, I mean, people have their ideas. There's specific things that we would like to see. I think it's the #1 choice would definitely be replace 2 of the featured units with Gotenks and Vegeta. I would probably go with Personally, I think Gogeta and Broly are probably the least hyped. Otherwise, you could say Piccolo, because I do think whether you need him or not, I think Trunks being on the banner is good. Like I say, because of his leads and how he helps out team building for a lot of players. So Piccolo, and then I guess Metal Cooler, because as much as we'd like them to get rid of STR Super Buu, I don't think they will. So taking off those two and putting on Vegito and Gotenks or the Blue Fusions. But of course, again, the Blue Fusions don't then fit the theme of there being a Super and an Extreme banner. So yeah, best case scenario is Vegito and Gotenks, but I can't see that happening somehow. So yeah, so shout out to everyone whose comments we went through. If I didn't specifically read yours, I apologise. Like I said, I didn't want the video to be super long. So if yours didn't get read out or you just have anything else to add, let's continue the discussion down below in the comments section. What would you like to see changed about the banner? What units? Who are we going to lose? What sort of things are we going to do? Let's discuss more down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ninja. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the link to my Discord in the description, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.